this video, I'm gonna share with you how to budget as a digital nomad, but you can also watch this video if you are planning your vacation or if you are traveling full-time like me. What's up everybody, my name is Salwa. I am a full-time digital nomad, aka full-time traveler, and I've been traveling in over 28 countries all alone in 3 different continents. And this video has been requested by a lot of you on how to budget when you travel full-time. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I budget, and I'm gonna share with you a few tips on how you can do it too. Disclaimer, before we get started, I just have to let you know that I am not a financial advisor. I am just gonna share with you my methods in hopes to help you out. So, how to budget as a full-time traveler? Well, first of all, you need to know there are so many variables here. So this can get quite complex because it depends on so many things. For example, what is your lifestyle? How much money are you making? Is your income fixed or does it vary month to month? Where are you located and where are you traveling? What are your non-negotiables in your budget? Something that may be very important for me may not be important for you, and vice versa. So I want you to take this in consideration before you do your budget. And then I'm going to show you exactly how I'm doing mine. I'm actually traveling from Mexico City from Texas this summer, and I need to budget for Mexico City. One good thing though is I know it's going to be a lot cheaper than the US, so I'm excited. I've already worked on my budget and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. So if you're planning to travel full-time, then let's talk about saving first. I've done a whole other video on how to become a digital nomad, and I talked a little bit about how to save, and so make sure you watch it. But right now I want to go deeper into this. So how much should you have saved before you embark into your full-time travel journey? So my recommendation is a minimum of 3 months of your monthly expenses. I'm talking about expenses in the country you are going to live in. So for example, a month of expenses in Houston, Texas will be different than a month of expenses in Guadalajara, Mexico. So these are the things you want to take in consideration, and that's really the bare minimum I recommend, because that amount of money will secure you at least lodging and a flight home in case things happens and you need to leave. So you want to have that saved into an account that you don't touch. Now, other variables include how confident are you with making money? Some people are just free spirits and they just travel without any money and they are going to figure it out when they get there. Some other people need to have 6 to 9 months, if not a year, of saving before they can embark that journey. So it's up to you to ask yourself those questions. So today, if I lose everything, I know I'm able to make money, whether I need to work on the beach and sell snacks or at a coffee shop or in a nightclub, I would do it until I get back on my feet. So ask this question to yourself: what is your confidence levels when it comes to savings? The next thing you want to take in consideration is your income. Do you have a business? Are you a freelancer, or are you working for a company? If you are working for a company remotely, you know you have a steady paycheck and you know how much money you make in every month, which makes this a lot simpler. If you are a freelancer, chances are you have different gigs every month and your income is going to change every month. It's hard to predict the amount of money you'll be making each month. So these are the things you want to take in consideration when you are doing your budget. Now let's talk about making this budget. I'm very old school. I use a spreadsheet and every month I go over it. So here how I divide my spreadsheet. First, I'm going to put my fixed expenses, which will include lodging, food, and transportation. Those are the bare minimum, the things that I need to live. And then I have the variable expenses. So those variable change every month, and also they're not necessary. That means I can live without, like eating out, entertainment, coffee shop, and so on. And then taxes. So every month I put 25% of my income for my taxes, because when you're not working for a company, you have to do this yourself. And lastly, saving, which I put between 10 to 20% into my savings, no matter how much money I make each month. Okay, So now let's make a budget together. I'm going to go to Mexico City and I need to budget for that. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. Let's dive in. A good place to start is this website called Nomad List, so nomadlist.com. On that website, you got everything from jobs to meeting communities all over the world. But what I love the most is you can type in a city where you want to go, and they give you all the information from weather, cost of living, Wi-Fi, co-working spaces, coffee shop, nightlife, and so on. So it's a really good benchmark to use whenever you're going to be traveling somewhere. So based on Nomads list, but also on the research that I've done online, I found out that Mexico City cost of living is about $1,500 a month, including your rent, food, and transportation. And so for my specific example, the month that I'm going to spend in Mexico, I already have 2 weeks booked on a house sit, which means I'll pay $0. And then I looked for where I could stay for the remaining 2 weeks. So if you go to Airbnb, so for example here in Mexico City, and on average it costs about $35 a night. Now you might find it even cheaper if you are doing a sublease, roommate situation, co-living, hostels. All of that are cheaper options. So let's just say here for the month it's going to be about $700. And by the way, I'm going to keep looking for house sits, and if I found another one, then I'm just going to do that and not paying anything for rent. I've done this for 3 years where I haven't paid almost no rent, and I really like it. So now that we have the rent cover for Mexico, let's go on with the food. So again, I've done my research to figure out how much to spend on food. One thing to know about me though is I don't eat out much. So most of the time I'll be buying food and cooking at home. My monthly cost for food would be about $200 in Mexico City, with the average meal, if you would eat out, at $7. And I might go out with friends and drink here and there. So I include that in my budget, but I'm gonna keep my budget at $200 for the month with the food in Mexico. And just so you know, this could get really high real quick if you don't have a budget. Like you can spend $200 in one night. So it's up to you to budget. Otherwise, you might just get crazy on spending money on partying and drinking margaritas. And yes, I'll have margaritas. All right, next thing that I include in my fixed expense would be transportation. So in there, I included the public transportation pass for a train. And I also included Uber and also bikes, because I know you can rent bikes. And all of that really equate to $50. Flights are part of my fixed expense. Next, it would be phone and internet. Again, I'm going to be staying in a house sit, and then the other place is going to probably be an Airbnb. And so Wi-Fi must be included, so I'm not going to pay for that. However, for my phone plan, I am with Google Fi, which means I can use my phone everywhere in the world and I don't have to pay roaming fee from the US, for example. So on Google Fi, you can see here, the base plan is at $20 and the unlimited is $40. So this is what I have. I do have a second phone. It's a dual SIM card. So I've been getting SIM cards everywhere I go. Like I remember in Turkey, my SIM card cost me $5 and I had unlimited internet. Like seriously? If it's cheaper for you to do that, then just do that. So for phone, internet, it's gonna cost me about $30 a month. Next thing I include in my fixed expenses is health insurance. And I'm using Safety Wing. They have a traveling insurance for digital nomad and it starts at $42. You have to have health insurance where you travel. If anything happens to you, you need to be covered. Okay, so that was it for my fixed expenses. For my variable expenses, I'm putting somewhere between $100 to $300 a month to spend for things that I want to have fun. And honestly, sometimes I don't even spend anything. Like there's so many free tours. I like to walk around. So all of that combined, it's an approximate about $300 a month that I spend. Let's look at my total expenses for Mexico City for 1 month. Then my total will be about $1,400. That's really living comfortably for me, because honestly, I don't need much. So that's how much it would cost for my monthly expenses in Mexico. I did not include the 20% saving and the 25% taxes. So make sure you add that as to your budget. There's so many variables in making a budget, but I try to be as transparent as possible by showing you how I do it. And I hope this will help you out making a budget for your travel. I'll leave you with this. I can tell you one thing for sure is that I spend a lot less money since I've been traveling full-time than when I lived in the US. Remember, I used to live in New York City, one of the most expensive cities in the world, that my fixed expenses every month was a minimum of $3,000. So now I don't pay any of this. I house sit and I stay in countries where my money goes a long way. So that's why I love this lifestyle, and I hope you will embark in that journey of traveling. It's just so amazing. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what are your budget tips. How do you budget when you travel full-time? please leave them in the comment down below. Make sure you watch my other video about how to become a digital nomad. And if you do have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Kisses, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.